today we're here to just basically talk about, you know, the ways to deal with dry rush. We're gonna talk about raw dry rush first. Then we're gonna talk about like the strike throw mix up that comes from like crouching, medium, dry rush, and cancels, and how to beat them and each option. You know, just basic stuff like that. I got my immaculate notepad in the side. Boop, boop. Oh, y'all ain't see it because I don't got the screen record on, but you know, it's there. I promise you, it's real. Y'all, I rarely let y'all see the notepad. Anyways, first things first, if we want to keep it super simple, right? So if you're far away, dry rush, they probably won't do this. Bam, right? Now, obviously, there's more layers to get added. I say if it's a character that has like crazy shit out of their dry rush, like sway and all that, fireball. Try to fireball them. That's all you can really do. Or poke preemptively, or try to use a further reaching button if you know they're reaching, right? Because like, this is cool. Technically, these are very similar frame data wise, right? They're only like 3 frames off. I mean, like they're only a couple frames off from each other, but this has to me has a better reach, right? You'll either get a trade or you'll get a hit, and most of the time when you get the trade, or a good amount of the time, excuse me, when I get the trade, I'm too far for them to really do shit. Like, let's say like plus 20 or some shit here is better than having a plus 20 trade right here. Here you can't really do shit. You have to walk up and like maybe hit me or something, or try to, but I don't think it's physically enough time, because remember, frames are seconds based. It's a frame per second, per move per second, all of that. So as you're trying to get your bearings to recover and come walk and hit me, I'm already like in a safe position, right? And that's hypothetical. I don't know if any trades are like plus 20. I'm just saying, right? So a good rule of thumb is like the poking real high. I say wherever you're poking from, if you're here, you just want to jab, do a light, something like this. This is a really good one for like all like medium and this range. What I like to do is personally, if I'm like round here, I'll hit this button, right? It's my favorite button is Ryu. I'll hit this button, right? Throw fireballs, but I'll mostly hit this button, right? If I'm feeling myself, I might go for a heavy, but very rarely, because I feel like I get clipped a lot of the time. But for me, I just vary between mediums. Like I know some people say, oh, here use light, here use a medium, here use a heavy. To me, it's either light or it's a medium. Now, like if I'm right in this pocket right here and they dry rush, boom. Or if I'm like right here, maybe I do it like a dunk kick, they try to dry rush, boom, right? Pack 'em. Right, I'll only use this if I'm like, I ain't gonna say less ready, but if I'm overall just trying to zone them out. Maybe this too. I try to typically use a button that's quick enough and cancelable enough into a combo that does half decent damage or carry, so that you think about, oh, let me not just dry rush on the motherfucker. Because that's another thing too. If you don't punish people hard enough for dry rushing, they're gonna keep doing it. I mean, some people who base their whole game plan around it, they're gonna keep doing it regardless, but it doesn't, but you're making it a lot easier for them. But if you're not checking dry rushes often too, because you're probably not looking for it, because people think that you just check dry rush passively. You can, if you're poking and like playing a genuine ground game, you might check throwing fireballs. You'll actually check a lot of shit, including dry rush and forward move and advancing moves, which is cool. People, I don't know why, but people just don't consider dry rush as being like something you have to add to your mental stack. It's no different than a jump in. If you're not looking for the jump in, or you're not mentally unbound, I would argue that jump ins you don't have to look for off rip. There's more time to process it. With dry rush, not really. So let's say like a whiff. If you're not looking for the whiff, you're not going to get the punish on purpose. If you're not looking for the dry rush, you're not going to get it consistently on purpose. In order for there to be consistency, you have to be kind of looking for it, right? And that just comes with experience and knowing, hey, in this range, I like to do it like in this range. Because also people have triggers. Like I noticed like a lot of people dry rush in specific situations or specific times, whether the game is too idle and they don't like it, whether it's after this because they're trying to punish it. So just bear that in mind. So back then, take the draw was a common solution to a lot of the shit that happens off of a crouching medium dry rush. My thing is the only issue with that is now, because they updated the game a while ago, right? But I think it was the year one. Well, I don't know when the update was. I don't really keep that good a track of shit. But back then, before the game was patched, you were able to do a crouching medium drive rush jab into a back or a walk back shimmy, right? So you can technically do jab, but the only thing is you can't walk back, right? You're not plus enough to walk back. Now, I'm just gonna say this, get it off the back. A lot of the stuff you see, if it works, it's probably because the person's delaying. All of this tech draw, even this, like you gotta think. When we turn this off, if you delay, so this, if you delay tech or delay draw, anybody could walk back, right? In order for a shimmy to be a genuine threat off of a light, you have to commit to the backdash. The problem with committing to the backdash, that's cool and dandy, but if they don't go or they hit a button, you might get clipped, especially if they hit low. And mind you, like I tested it out, I think it varies depending on the character with the crouching mediums sometimes, or whatever button it is, but more so crouching mediums, right? You have at least like, because I checked it, you have anywhere between 10 and 13 frames before you can crouch block again. Technically you're out of here, but like you're still in like I'm gonna show y'all. I'm talking, but like let me actually show y'all. So you see I have Ken's crouching medium delayed 13 frames, right? Damn. See? See, I'm holding back. Y'all see I'm holding down back, right? Now, like I said, it's 10 to 13 because I sorry. I tested it out with other characters and it didn't work as well. Or it did. Like, I found the range was between 10 and 13. You're gonna have to go and lab your own character or lab your own best button, right? So yeah, if the move is standing, you're in good grace, right? You're in the good grace of the Lord, right? But if the move is crouching, you're cooked. So because I physically can't get back in the crouching position on time. Now let's see, let's go to 14, right? But yeah, as y'all can see, 13 is the max. Anything beyond 13, and I doubt there's a character that goes beyond 13. So anywhere between 10 and 13 is the range in which you can delay it. And I don't even mean delay because I don't think you would necessarily delay it by 13 or so frames. You might, I mean, shit. But I say that to say because 12 to 13 frames, I ain't say it's reactable necessarily, but you have more leeway. It's not like a tight window. You can kind of visibly see the backdash and hit and do it on reaction, right? Like if I'm kind of halfway looking for it, if I'm halfway looking for it, as y'all can see, if I'm halfway looking for it, I can kind of react to it with crouching medium. I might accidentally get whiff punished, but even then, for a more consistent, like, I could just do that because literally you're not plus at all. Like, nothing you do is gonna stop that. So fuck a crouching medium. Really, you can sweep. Like I said, your button's gonna vary character to character, but the point I'm trying to make is the backdash is reactable if you're looking for it more than anything. Anything's reactable when you're looking for it, but some shit is harder to catch even when you are looking for it. But this is one of the easier things. You can visibly see the backdash and then go boom. But I say all this to say the only genuine way that you can get a walk back shimmy off of a crouching medium drive rush is if you do a button that's bigger than a light, right? Because like I said, we'll keep going forward. The button has to be a medium or bigger in order for me to genuinely threaten walk back shimmy. And I think with the heavy punch, yeah, you could just micro step like that. So if you're getting, so really, honestly, if you're getting drive rush jabbed on a lot, like crouching medium in the jab, for the most part, you could just throw. Honestly, I'm not gonna sit here and say you're gonna notice it off the rip every time. I think your overall safest bet might be the tech or the delay tech. But the problem with that is if your opponent is attentive and you start to do that, let's actually have, even if, let's say hypothetically, right, they don't want to actually delay their button because they can fuck up, right? All you got to do is something like this. All you got to do is in the heavy. But overall, it's much easier to just do a frame trap that kind of auto times it. So if you do this in the heavy, the only problem is though, your opponent, if they so decide to, they could just easily mash you out of it. That's the only downside of that. Some people, I think a lot of people will just drive rushing the buttons not knowing the purpose. But yeah, there's genuinely a purpose. Like if you notice your opponent's teching or you think they're gonna tech, you could do that, right? Excuse me. They can delay tech. Now they're mashing. Like I said, that's the fucked up part. If you notice that a lot of your shit's getting interrupted, that means your opponent is simply mashing. It's not necessarily a difficult concept, right? Yeah, but honestly, you really just base it off your opponent. If you feel like your opponent's been if you feel like your opponent's abusing throws a lot, maybe you delay tech. If you feel like, you know, it's really about you playing the back and forth game with your opponent more than anything. So I can't really necessarily say, and some people are insane and they don't care. They don't actually have a decision-making process. So for those people, I mean, good luck. But I think a lot of people have the broad misconception that you have to take the throw. I think now you have to take the throw less. Like in the corner, yes, you still have to take the throw. That's way different. I ain't say shit about that, right? With throw loops being a genuine threat, yes, take the fucking throw. But in neutral, not as much. You don't have to take the throw as much as you think you do. All right. Oh, and I also forgot to mention this too, right? You can also do something called a DPOS. So a DPOS, to explain it super simple, basically, right? We're gonna actually have Ken. So with every character is different. Some characters, block strings are different, right? Like for example, Ryu. This is not a block string, a true block string, right? For Ken, that's a true block string. For Akuma, that's also a true block string as well, right? But anywho, with DPOS, right, and we're gonna actually record Ken to do that, right? So basically, if Ken does anything that's not a true block string, which means like I have to block it no matter what, then my DP won't come out. Then basically my DP won't come out. And if he does, then my DP will hit him and then I'm in a safe spot. Now, obviously this requires resources, so you can't just spam it. But at the same time, that's also a solution to get out of dry rush as well, or more safer option if you have the meter to burn, right? Obviously, if not, then you got to make some decisions, you know, cut your losses. And I would check it from character to character, because like I said, like Ryu trying to do that is not real. Riken doing this, Ken doing this is real. That's actually real, as far as like that's a true block string, so I can't DP between it. But it really doesn't matter, because you don't even have to really think that deep into it, because like I said, if you DP and it's a true string, DP is not going to come out, right? However, it can be baited though if somebody does like a heavy, right? And even then, let's say like, and we're going to actually show Ken doing it, right? We're going to have Ken do it and then try to walk back. It's a counter hit state every time, right? Even if he decides to walk forward, walk back, no matter if what he tries to do, the only way Ken is able to walk back or threaten a shimmy or oh my god, the only way Ken is able to threaten a shimmy out of that scenario is if he cancels from a heavy button, right? And there might be certain characters with certain mediums you might have to lab, but for the most part, universally at least, it's a heavy button. Even with Marissa, right? Her forward heavy, which is her forward heavy kick, which is her knee. Same thing, you can drivers cancel off of that, and you're able to bait people buffering supers and things like that, right? But these are the situations where drive reversal is most useful, because if they cancel anything and you drive reversals wrap, unless it's a true block string, obviously. But if they do literally anything but, then you could drive reversal it, right? Well, certain buttons, right? Like if we have, you know, I was saying Marissa's forward heavy loses, or the DPOS loses to her forward heavy, right? You know what it doesn't lose to? Drive reversal. So these are the situations where drive reversal is clutch. Drive reversal beats damn near every day. Now you can still bait out drive reversal, but at the same time though, like a lot, like there is not many situations where drive reversal isn't guaranteed. But if you're doing it in a situation where somebody's canceling anything in the drive rush, I'm pretty sure, and like I said, I'm not gonna say all because I haven't labbed everything and I'm not gonna do that, but I'm pretty sure in most situations you're safe. It's a safe bet, no matter what the drive rush cancel is, no matter who does it. And also the consequences of a drive reversal being blocked, whether you miss time it or you miss, like you perceive a situation to be different and they block it, is way less greater, unless you're gonna die anyways, and it doesn't matter. But it's a lot less riskier. Like the amount of damage you get, and some characters get off a drive reversal, of blocking a drive reversal, is way less significant than a DP. If you miss a DP, you're probably dead, especially in Street Fighter 6, right? Anyways, yeah, that was a video. It feels kind of weird. I don't know. Hopefully this is a solid video. Hopefully y'all kind of like this, bro. It's felt kind of, I ain't gonna say it felt weird to make, but I don't know. Maybe it's because it's been a minute. But yeah, like I said, I'm working on making or being more involved with the channel again. Like I said, I just had to go do some things, still are doing those things, so just be a little patient with me as we get things rolling back into rotation. But I'm going to do my best to try to pump out some content, especially because Thanksgiving, this break is coming up. Best believe we're gonna have, like, we're probably gonna stream a good amount. We're gonna do some things. We're gonna probably stream every day of the week of Thanksgiving, so stay tuned for that. Probably Street Fighter, probably a bunch of other games, Little Nightmares too, who knows. The goal is to have a ball. We're gonna have a great time. But yeah, thank y'all so much for watching. Let me know what y'all think of this video, if it kind of helps you with anything. I'm hoping it did. I hope it helped somebody. But yeah, enough of this. Yeah, y'all have a good one. I got stuff to do.